Hi guys, and welcome to monthly Lenormand reading. I'm just going to tell you quickly a little bit about Lenormand, just a minute. So Lenormand refers to two types of oracle decks, the Grand Jeu and Petit Jeu. The Grand Jeu, which is French for the big game, is based on a full deck of playing cards. So each card has a large variety of symbols, such as sometimes constellation, flowers, and Trojan War. But sometimes, like maybe you're familiar with my cards, where you have the lady holding a letter, where you have the rider, snake, and so on and so forth. The Petit Jeu Lenormand, French for the little game, is a deck of 36 cards. So cards images here are simple. As I said, a clover, a bear, a key, etc. Right? This is a simplicity in this deck that really leads to cards not being read based on the picture nor the symbol, where in tarot every line actually has a meaning, and depending on combination, kind of like they end up having different meanings. Instead here, the meanings tied to the cards are fairly literal, such as luck for the clover and success for the key. Unlike the philosophical meanings, where you have the keys sort of like entry to the gateway to the spirituality, right? In this respect, Petit Jeu cards remind me of pictorial language, almost like Egyptian hieroglyphs, right? But keep in mind that both the Grand Jeu and Petit Jeu are like in that they use card combinations to expand on the meanings on the individual cards. So you see, each card has a meaning, but 1 + 1 doesn't make 2. 1 + 1 makes it like 5, and 1 + 1 + 1 makes it 15, and so on and so forth. When you put all 36 cards on the table, it is sort of like giving almost like overview on how the situation can be seen, and it can actually really give you different aspects and what is like behind you, what is aside from you, etc, etc. 36 cards, as I told you, has like so many different possibilities and meanings, and it really requires a skilled reader to do that. So anyway, I think we are going to attempt to do exactly that. So why don't you get ready, sit down, take your popcorn, and let's get into your reading. Love you. Hi Capricorn, this is Kat. This is your Lenormand for February. Whew, I don't know where to start. Okay, so let me start with telling you what are significators in Lenormand, right? Lenormand has two main significators, the lady and the gentleman. It can be either of them, can be you, the other one can be possibly the partner that you're inquiring about, and they're also every other card, with some of them strongly, then the others can be significators of the other people. So now there are like few possible storylines. It could be you or it could be the other person. I always say someone, because right, there is like one person, there's another person, but truly what I see here is that energy, that invisible energy in between. So hence any person can kind of like do that, unless you're really clear on this is my situation and so on and so forth. So let me preface this that it is going to be a bittersweet month. I took this extra deck over here, which is Tarot Lenormand kind of deck, which initially I bought for tarot, but it didn't have properly researched meanings and didn't work, but it actually works really well for Lenormand. So the underlying energy is 3 of Cups and 4 of Cups reversed. And I'm starting here because I'm honestly seeing this bittersweet month. Look, here is somebody very happy, and here is somebody suffering melancholy, kind of losing interest in anything, even in their pets and people who maybe are playing on the outside. Almost like some of you will want to kind of like isolate and just be left alone, dealing with a whole bunch of issues, right? So let's see what is happening. I did actually pause a little bit just to really see how to approach this, because I'm seeing your reading as the most karmic one from all the signs for this month. And I'm seeing this because there are going to be some huge life changes. Some of them might not happen exactly in February, but you're going to get a whiff of things to happen. And I'm going to sort of tell you what's going on. Some of you currently are really happy-go-lucky. You're going, what the heck are you telling me about this? I'm super happy. I have the heart, I have the key, I have the garden, I have the stork. Maybe some of you just got pregnant or delivered a baby, because we also have the child over here. Now, but there is like certainly some kind of longing for someone, right? You on some level know that certain things are not fitting, the puzzles are not fitting, and to some extent some of you or somebody here have been fooling themselves with certain issues. It was avoidance of seeing issues, or the issues have been presented not exactly in the way they are. Just like in the moon and in the clouds. If you're in a fog, you see the lights, but you don't know if that's the light of the house or of the other car approaching, or what the heck this is all about, right? Or a flashlight or somebody's phone. This is that I cannot put my finger on it. I really can't put finger on it, but I know it's hard. I know it's kind of difficult. There's something going on. Now, the child here is in the house of the ship. So I don't know if you guys are old enough to basically have a child that is maybe somewhere else on education or living elsewhere, kind of moved out of home. Or this child certainly could mean something that has been brewing for a while is finally resurfacing, and it's really calling your attention. This child could be simply a relationship, or a relationship where you have a child as well. That kind of can indicate that as well. And it is kind of like really funny that you have, this is the house of the dog and you have the key here. But this sort of like already happened. There was this positioning where, oh my gosh, it's almost like happy-go-lucky, which is usually Sagittarians have that issue. It's like, la, 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 la. Honestly, I think they should not be called Sagittarians. They should be called a dog, because they are like so happy no matter what you do to them, which has bad sides to it. Somehow like that I see you. So especially those of you Capricorns that are closer to Saggies, especially the ones in December, will probably have more prominent that characteristic, or have been going through something like that. The reason I have such long intro is that things just simply may change. They can change because you have the ring in the key house. On top of that, they're like knighting it. Some of you maybe recently got engaged, but all of a sudden you will see that there are some kind of difficulties with that. Or maybe you just even got married. Maybe you just have a child. Maybe you simply moved in. It could be million and one scenarios. You could be single lady, you could be single mother who kind of like finally met somebody, or who is finally determined, this is what I want, and kind of like going on a new road. Keep in mind that when we want to change karma consciously, it is hard. So we always complain about these karmic soulmates who kind of create us lots of pain because they simply tear us away from the wrong train and dump us in the new one, and that kind of feels, the landing can feel kind of harsh. So we are in pain with karmic soulmates. But when we want to change karma on our own, it is equally painful, because karma is going to say, are you sure? I'll test you again. Are you sure? I'll test you again. Are you sure? I'll test you again. So the book of Job really, for those of you who are Christians, would really describe that. I'm testing you. Let's see how resolute you are to get there where you want to be. You're having the cross, karma, right in the center of this. Added with crossroads, added with the book, added with the coffin and the birds. So what does that mean? Crossroads self-explanatory. Do I really want to go back? And it's okay to live life with rose-colored glasses. But if rose-colored glasses are saying just I'll hop and hop and hop and hop, and then there's like a huge hole underneath you, it's not going to really benefit you. But some of you may decide to go there and completely put a blindfold, or you know, kind of like blinders on you, and just keep going in one direction. Those of you might be actually very happy, but not ultimately happy, because on some level, on some layer, you kind of like certain know which things are not working and you should fix them. There are not that many of them. They're like more or less small nagging issues. The nagging issues are the ones that karma is saying, you know what, you need to fix that. And if you're deciding to go back, you'll be simply circulating and coming back and coming back and coming back. So sometimes we don't react on things thinking they'll just go away, you know, just if we don't look at it. Some people do that with bills. It's kind of like a cold avoidance. But this is coming with a coffin. Karma wants this to stop. Karma wants you to look at it. That's why you have the clouds. And I think this is really talking about something official. Whether you have been dating and you haven't formalized that, or certain things didn't kind of go a certain way, in any case, something might show up. And it could be also related to family issues, and it can also relate to, well, the third party, unfortunately. The other partner here, the other significator here, kind of, some of you maybe here went through the breakup recently, and it could be the person who affected the breakup. It could be that there is a person in your life who is really affecting, because you have the snake in the house of the snake. That's interesting. So it looks like you're completely oblivious to this person's hidden motives, because also you have the mountain. It's mountain in the sense, it's in the house of the coffin. So some of you are literally taking this karmic questioning, like you just cannot avoid it. Like the mountain in the house of coffin means some things that you always believed in are going to change. It's going to be a huge difference in how you will think and what you will believe. Now, it tells me that you also are kind of like having that longing for a partner. You kind of like want to reconnect, but there is like this person who is sexually extremely alluring. And it's kind of really weird that last few readings that I have had both snake and the fox in that trajectory. So here is like one of these significators definitely have that. And look at this. It's just like simply weird turmoil. One person looks like maybe, let's call it clueless, or doesn't really want to look into things. You know, small things. The avalanche starts with a little snowball, and it just goes out of control. And that's why I'm saying just fix things that you need to fix, because things might get out of control. But the others have been already buried under basically the avalanche, and now trying to dig themselves out and backtracking. What the heck happened? What did I not see that? And I thought I was lucky, but that kind of like didn't work out. And you'll have to determine this one person who is either coming in your life, especially if you're singles, who's going to be so freaking hot to trot that you're going to think that you're super happy, because look at it, there's the bouquet. You're going to think this person has everything, and why this person wants me? Kind of like you'll kind of like feel super fabulous and super happy, like you're going to be shining and feeling very proud. The sexual thing is going to be at its high. And mind you, you guys are also represented with the devil card, which horn dogs of the tarot, right? So this somebody is really managed to push those buttons, like they exactly found the code of you Capricorn, and it's either you, it's just like enormous, like almost like you can create nuclear reaction with how like this attraction is going on. But at the same time, this person also could be a karmic soulmate, as well as somebody from the past with whom you had sort of like weird breakup or karmic breakup, or you know, you felt at the time that you simply are not rolling in the same direction, right? That, okay, so we just separate, things work, but things will come back from the past to you as well. And you say, this seems to be just a different body, but it's the same person. So wait a minute, what has happened? What did I not learn? I thought I read this book once and I know how the story ends. But I do have to tell you that while some of you are sort of like going to know somewhere in the back of your mind how things should actually work out, the others are just going to be simply almost enchanted with this newfound thing. So I have like two thoughts about that, because it can be bittersweet month. So it is kind of really weird. It's going to be bitter if you actually fix your karma, and it's going to be sweet in the future. Or it can be sweet if you really don't fix anything, but it's going to be bitter in the future. It can actually literally go both ways. But I have a food for thought for you. You guys, if you feel that you have been deprived from sex, and you might find this is a kind of really weird advice, so let me know what you think about that. And there is like somebody showing up who is like sexual, where you finally get your dosage and you can't get enough, and you're just like simply hungry for sex, I would just say eat it. It's not going to last forever. It's like, you know, you need to supply. Just don't let it get out of the hand, right? Communication is important, and what you communicate and what you put in writing. Just like, don't do something that you will regret, and I really mean it. And especially when it comes to sending naked pictures, don't do it. That's all I have to say. So Capricorn, to get your private reading, contact me via my website, cattarot.ca. Until the next time, love you so much. Please give me your comments.